Hey guys, it's Paul Lundquist. Today in our video, I'm going to tell you about agency disclosures. They are required by the state of Minnesota, and we're going to go through some pretty boring stuff. But it's something that we have to make everyone sign. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't be scared of it. So, let's dig into it. First, here's what an agency disclosure looks like. It's pretty boring, but it's all good information about what you get when you sign a contract. And I can't stress this enough. This is not a contract. It is required by law. Specifically, it's required by Minnesota Statute 82.67 that reads a little something like this.
A real estate broker or salesperson shall provide to a consumer in the sale and purchase of a residential real property transaction at the first substantive contact with the consumer an agency disclosure form in substantially the form set forth in subdivision 3. The agency disclosure form shall be intended to provide a description of available options for agency and facilitator relationships, and a description of the role of a licensee under each option. The agency disclosure form shall provide a signature line for acknowledgement of receipt by the consumer. The disclosures required by this subdivision apply only to residential real property transactions.
Again, this is not a contract. So let's break down the parts that agency gets you. It's called the fiduciary duties or fiduciary responsibilities. And here's what they are. Loyalty. It's a broker and salesperson will act only in the client's best interest. We're not going to do anything that's going to be detrimental to you or the deal. Obedience. Broker and salesperson will carry out all clients' lawful instructions. We work for you. We don't make any of our own decisions. As long as what you're asking us to do is lawful, that's what we're going to do. Disclosure. Broker and salesperson will disclose to clients all material facts of which broker and salesperson has knowledge which might reasonably affect the client's use and enjoyment of the property. So if we know something that's of a material fact that could affect your enjoyment of the property, we have to disclose it. Now, this kind of butts up against discrimination laws. So a lot of times, if you ask us, what's the neighborhood like? Well, we can't really say anything about that, mostly because I have no idea. What do you like in a neighborhood? Confidentiality. Broker and salesperson will keep clients' confidences unless required by law to disclose specific information, such as disclosure of material facts to buyers. The big three are price, terms, and motivation. We're never going to reveal the price you're willing to pay or accept for a property. We're never going to reveal your motivation for selling or for buying, and we're never going to reveal terms you're willing to accept. So cash, conventional, FHA, contract for deed, stuff like that, unless you tell us to, and we have that in writing. And sometimes it helps out. If it's going to help out in our bargaining strategy, sometimes we will ask you to do that. Reasonable care. A broker and salesperson will use reasonable care in performing duties as an agent. So we're going to make sure that forms are filled out correctly, that everything is going along as it should. On our end. And sometimes we make mistakes, so it's good. That's why Angela and I always make sure that everyone looks over forms, that they know exactly what they're signing. And accounting. Broker and salesperson will account to clients for all clients' money and property received as an agent. Mostly that refers to earnest money. So earnest money is basically like liquid damages. That is what happens to what you lose if you don't follow through on the contract. So we explain all of this in a lot greater detail when we sit down and talk about signing this. But again, it is not a contract. But we should probably talk a little bit about agency. What is agency? And what do you get with agency? Well, you get the fiduciary responsibilities. But what is it? So agency is any kind of a contract, a buyer representation agreement, or a listing agreement that's signed by a party and an agent. Now, this is all part of an agent that is an extension of the broker. So here's our broker, Ryan. And here is myself and Angela. And all of the other agents at Coldwell Banker River Valley Realtors. So we're all extensions of Ryan. Technically, every single listing that we have with Coldwell Banker River Valley, that's a listing here, Wisconsin, all over, we are all working for those people that have contracts with us because it goes through Ryan. This is where dual agency comes in. So for dual agency, that is when two people from the same office with the same broker are in different parts of an offer. So if Angela and I have a listing and someone else from Coldwell Banker River Valley Realtors has a buyer, that would be dual agency. Now, the most obvious time for this is when one agent has both sides. Now, if you look back at the fiduciary duties, we're never going to do anything to the detriment of either party. We're going to make sure that everyone is getting the best deal that they could possibly get in the situation. So we're going to make sure the buyers have the best price that they can get on the property, and that sellers are going to have the best price on the property. So we are not going to do anything to the detriment of either party. All right, that's it. That's everything that I know how to tell you about agency disclosure forms. The one thing we did not talk about was the facilitators. And facilitators is basically someone that doesn't have any kind of agency relationship with either party. So you don't get any of the fiduciary responsibilities. So there's 4 different kinds: sellers, buyers, dual, and that's just where the fiduciary responsibilities lie. And then the facilitators where you don't get any of that. So look at our contact information right there, and keep your eyes open for more videos. And if you have any questions about houses or anything else, let us know. We got a lot of cool stuff that's going to be coming up, including a lot of new listings that we can't quite tell you about yet, but we've got a lot of exciting stuff that's going to be coming up for Angela and I. Thank you very much for watching the video. I know it's a little long, but it was very good information, and I'm just making it longer by talking. So bye.